for McNeese. Good morning to the city of Lake Charles, Louisiana.
I hope, bro, you know, it'd be sweet if we were both in the championship for this top thing against each other.
I know.
would love that.
That would actually be
Bro, none of my shit matches, dog.
What do you mean? Oh, because people don't bet props as much.
Somebody matched my Tanji bet for $1. I can't even use it right now because it has to be $10 minimum.
Can you guys help me with chats today?
Love it. Sorry, Mike. It's only round 2, brother. Caleb, how are you, Mike?
I feel blessed to be up. I'm up like 0.2 units in March. I feel blessed.
What's up, Devo?
Not Ava.
Yeah, Steve.
Bang, bang, Rambo gang. Yes, sir.
Who's that?
Hey.
Low-key iconic.
Yo, y'all been watching Creighton?
Creighton?
Yeah.
What do you mean? They're one game?
Remember I took Neil in the conference journey and he looked like he was disabled? And then he literally looked like Kawhi Leonard.
Oh, yeah, he was.
Bro, he
Paul
looked
George.
insane.
He was Paul George.
29.
I mean, we all said that he was going to be the X Factor for X Factor for Creighton.
Yeah, but everyone was telling me he's got no bag, bro. That guy's got a
He has a bag.
bag and
He's like a 6'6" guard. He's smart.
What's up, Alex? And how are we? Zags.
Has to be. Gotta
The
be.
old Zags.
Dude, that's a great song right, Rolo. A little Saturday energy. What's up, Rolo? How are we? Little dark gray hoodie
Feeling
gang.
good, living better.
Yeah. How's everyone's first or round 1, I should say? How'd it go? I went up plus 0.2.
Bets were good, but the bracket I posted to Twitter was wow.
Bets were actually
That
good.
shit was ass.
You've only been doing props too, right?
Well, I had sides for the Profit X thing. I think I only missed Miss State. Shocker.
Oh, facts.
That team's
Facts.
just.
Who did you? And you said you were playing some plus EV guy. You were so worried about.
No, I just said he has like a huge model. No, I wasn't like worried. I was just I don't know. I've never heard of him. He's a cool guy though.
DJ and Low with the sub. We got Keeds with the sub. Appreciate you guys, man.
Oh,
That's
Donnie.
fucking awesome. I'm just reading through
Cool,
chat.
Brent.
What's good? Took it with Brent. Fuck Haley Van Lith, SMH, Bookachu. Bookachu. It's a little too early for that talk. Costed my foreleg. Rolo, KD points was air. You guys betting NBA props during March Madness? That's Rolo.
That's
you gotta go.
chewy, bro. That's chewy, bro.
You gotta go confess to your local church.
I'm not betting NBA right now.
Didn't he splooge?
Yeah, he had a 40 ball.
Yeah. So
And he
Can we
went
talk
crazy.
about some NBA games, dude? What is happening in chat right now? No-
I've had 2 of the last 2 days.
That's how good March has been to the chat.
People
They're
don't want to bet.
they're ready to
People
move
don't want to
the-
bet the tournament after 2 days.
It's Tanji time.
After you guys have like processed like that last stream, what'd you guys think of it? Because I thought, I mean, Jack is
was
like
hilarious.
a big fan of the show now. He was so excited and like, dude, that was
Yeah.
so sick. Like, I wish
Jack
we could have talked about ball a little bit, but it was such a good
I know.
stream.
That's what it was
Jack
supposed to
has
be, but
a
then like his
really-
story was it was so interesting, and I've always
He's a
wondered
very
like,
interesting person, and his energy is very infectious.
like how do
Yeah.
you become a play-by-play? Like that's like it's one of a myth. Like it's
Yeah. You don't get to.
Such a
I mean, I've never
unique
talked to
job.
one. I've never talked to
no
one before.
The only ones you know is fucking Kevin Harlan and Ian Eagle and Mike Breen. Like you don't talk
Right.
to those guys every day.
Doris Burke.
Rolo's a really good judge of
Yeah.
character too, and he can like, I don't know what to call it really, like people's energy, I guess. But you have a good like radar in terms of that. So I'm
Yeah,
glad to hear that.
he's a real good guy. That was a really good first impression he made. He seemed real genuine.
I guess this isn't a
Also-
official Ramble Saturday, but I guess we'll call it that for now. What were you
I
saying,
was
Ro?
gonna say at the end of that stream, I was asking chat because I didn't want to say it with him there, but I was like, he literally sounds like Ian Eagle. And then listening to Ian Eagle throughout the tourney, they have
Who
that
is that?
same.
Which one, guys?
He's
Which
the one
game
that
does
says
he do?
he says his catchphrase is like denied, like when someone gets a block. He's like
Mm.
denied, and like
Yeah.
hits every time, every time.
Didn't he
Is he in
say
that
that he was a mentor?
Yeah,
Yeah.
He name dropped a few people, honestly.
yeah,
He
Kevin
named
Harlan,
dropped
right?
people.
You think about it, it's like there's probably not a big there's probably not a large
That's
number
what I'm
of
saying. No, it's like a
commentators,
small
especially
network.
good ones. Yeah.
It's
That's what he
definitely a
was saying.
very
It's
small
like a
community.
brotherhood.
One question I wanted to ask him was there any person that he was like starstruck by when he first met them? But
True. Oh, that would have been.
If I had to
Either
guess, it would be
announcer or player.
it would be Joe Buck or Aikman. I feel like those two are like in their own world.
If you
Yeah,
know, you know,
especially-
Cam.
If you're in the broadcast world too. Token with a sub, man. Sub for 22 months. Appreciate you. Give me a nuke, fellas. I'll give you one right now. Auburn. It's going to be probably my only 2U play today. But we'll talk about it. We'll talk about all these games. I hope you guys prepared a little bit. I was doing some labbing this morning. Dejan's going to come on in a little bit. I think he's finishing up his stream. He's going to probably rate us and then just join up. You sent him the link already, Royal?
Yeah, I DM'd him. Yep.
Do you want to just wait for him to wrap up? Do you want to drop in? Someone go into his chat and ask him when he'll be wrapped up so we can kind of figure out if we should talk about games now or kind of just stall until he's ready. But I'm personally going to play every single game on the board today. Round of 32 calls for it. It really does.
Yes.
Every
Every game on the board.
mid-major Matt's on there, huh?
Yeah, big mid-major. I was listening to him. He should really he should put himself out there more, man. He puts out good content. He's a good listen.
He commented
DJ
on my bracket. Do you have CTE? That was like before. I was like, it's kind of hard. Like you can't really call someone's bracket shit before because you never know. But I might have had CTE fucking making that bracket.
You know what
had Marquette beating Michigan State. That was ratchet.
It's so funny
I had
because
Clemson going far too.
Like when it comes to the bracket and betting, it's like almost a blessing and a curse because like I went up against myself and lost in terms of like what I thought the bracket was turning out to be. Well, maybe not went against, but I had New Mexico in my bracket. I didn't play it, and those are some of those games that you kick yourself for, especially if you're on the opposite side. So like it's almost like you should either go with what you thought the bracket was going, or you should just throw your bracket completely out of it. It's like you can't mix them together and use them a little bit of both. So I'm gonna rock with like just bracket kind of pre-betting lines and kind of lean into that a little bit more, if that makes sense. Because Roa, I think you had a good point about kind of how these lines have just been like, I guess not really mattering in terms of them being sharp or not. I think Michigan was a prime example.
So get NC State last year.
It's showing that like a lot of these teams, like in Arkansas, for example, like a team with so much talent and so much athleticism that just hasn't panned out. Like these are the games that they really get up for, and that's what's really cool about it. You saw like in New Mexico, who's full of dogs and didn't really get an opportunity on that big of a stage. They finally get one, and you see what they're made of. Donovan Dent, we were saying pre-tournament, is an absolute dog. He's up there with Cam Jones, and that was kind of exactly what we thought was going to happen. Cam Jones and Donovan Dent going back and forth, and Donovan Dent was the better guard in that game at the end of the day. Obviously, UNM played much better overall as well than Marquette, but just kind of like these cool scenarios that are playing out in terms of potential, because you're getting the absolute best out of most, other than like an Auburn playing down to competition, right? So we can talk about that too. Auburn comes out the gates. They just didn't give a fuck, man, at the end of the day. They didn't care. Yeah. And like when you're that good, Auburn is a very undisciplined team. And when you have like at the end of the day, they have this cocky fuck you kind of confidence. That's Auburn. They're like, we've had the number one name next to our name. We don't have to run plays versus this team, bro. We're gonna win this game by 20 and not even give a fuck. And that's exactly what they did. They were pulling up from three. They were playing backyard basketball, and they ended up winning. Obviously, not covering, and that's kind of why I like them so much in this spot today I guess we can kind of just talk about that game first. But I'm kind of doing like a recap of what round one was to me. But I think we're getting these scenarios where you can get teams that obviously get up for this awesome spotlight and get teams that play down, like an Auburn who's been in the spotlight all year. So it's pretty cool. But it creates bad habits for sure. And I'm not encouraging Auburn, bro. I hate seeing that shit. I think you should play your best ball every time you get on the court and you're on TV. But that's Baker Mazzara and that's Broome. When your two leaders are those two guys, I mean, dude, they're fucking off and joking around like 5 minutes in the game. Like,
I'm betting on one of them today, so see how that goes.
Yeah, you can say it's Bruce Pearl too.
Yeah, he kind of has that too. He has that like I'm better than you mentality, and I know it, and it kind of wears off on them. But that's also why some home games they have some, not even just home games in general, but that's why they have that swagger to them. And I think the perfect example is that first Bama game where they just had that number 1 seed swagger. Like, they made Alabama like fold pretty much. Alabama was down like 15 the whole game. They kept cutting it back, and then Auburn would pull away. I think that was Auburn at its best, in my opinion, was that game.
Yeah.
Because they were actually locked in.
Yeah. They were laughing.
That's a good point. It's cocky. It's not confident.
Yeah.
The way that Auburn played that first game, that was cocky.
Yeah.
Like they were literally jogging up the court for the first 20 minutes, bro. They weren't even giving
the moves they were making. Like Pettiford was like almost toying with the defenders, like letting them get into space. Like you can just, if you watch ball, you can just tell that Auburn was playing like they just knew. They knew they were better, and at the end of the day, they are. Horrible body language, correct? I mean, they weren't hustling. They weren't hustling against any loose ball. Yeah, and that's you're right, Ro. If they were playing a better team and played like that, they probably could have taken advantage. But because the talent discrepancy was so large, and that was probably the worst team that Auburn faced, arguably all year, analytics wise. So, but what are some of your guys' like takeaways? I feel like I have to address Mizzou, which I'm really not looking forward to. But what are your guys'
not to rub salt in the wound with that one, but I think what we said before, I think that team peaked versus Alabama. That was it. They were just never the same. They made a small run in the conference tourney, and that was it.
That's obviously they're not the best ball that they could have played, but that team was ice cold going into the tournament, and it's the vice versa of teams that are really hot going into the tournament. Sometimes you transfer over that energy. Sometimes you flip a switch. In this case, Mizzou didn't flip the switch. It was a bad play. Drake is an elite, well-coached team, extremely disciplined. Sturtz is a real deal. They just didn't make mistakes. And if you're draining that much clock against a team like Mizzou, I mean, Mizzou gets all their points in transition, man. They had no opportunity to run their offense. Sturtz wasn't making any mistakes. He was hitting all the early shots.
He's a beast.
Drake is a good team, man. Drake is definitely a good team. So I'm going to tip my cap to them on that and take that Mizzou bet. Just kind of tip my cap. That was a bad bet. Mizzou, I guess I was right in conference play, but I thought they were going to do something a little bit better in March, and I was definitely wrong about that. So hate to see that team go down like that, man. That was just a brutal game for me to watch.
Did we get rated? Or are they just all here?
Oh, yeah, we did. Thank you for the raid, DJ. Let's go, man. Appreciate you. I hope you had a good stream. Hope you had a good morning. I think you're jumping on, right? Hefe with a sub. 1 year of subs and Amir Khan on stream. Going to be a great Saturday. I think so, too. Anytime you're tuning into Ramble on a Saturday, I think it's a good stream and a good day. Thank you, DJ, and hope you're doing well, man. He'll probably pop up in the bottom of our screen pretty soon here. What were your guys' biggest takeaways outside of Mizzou and Drake, though?
New Mexico.
New Mexico, just Donovan Dent being an absolute warrior.
Yeah, bro. Like me and Adam were talking about it for about the first 3 days before the tournament started, like making our brackets and shit. So I was just like, I don't know why you're so high on New Mexico, bro. These Mountain West teams just can't get it together. But I'm not gonna lie, they shocked me last night, and I honestly think that it's going to be a very competitive game against MSU, and they might be the team to do it.
I think so too, man.
I think they can really put up a good, like Brian put up a good fight for about the first 30 minutes, but I think wire to wire, it might be the Lobos.
Yeah, and I've been
Be
saying it all year, man. I thought Marquette is bad, man. They've been fraudulent all year. It's crazy to think that Tyler Kolek is that much better of a guard than Cam Jones is.
Iguodaro too, though.
True.
'Cause
But
this Marquette team had no big, and that killed them.
Tyler Kolek was, I think, just goes
He's
to
a
show
dog.
how valuable he was to any like when he's on the court, your offense is clicking, man. Yeah, but Kolek can't read. Okay.
I will say
Okay,
too. I think an interesting take. We've kind of seen it like throughout the years in that Baylor game. Like, dude, does Edgecombe not realize like he's gonna be a top 5 pick? Like that guy is so passive at times.
Bro,
And he's one of the best players in the nation.
I kind of like it.
I found out was that yesterday? Yeah, it was yesterday morning.
Baylor, first game of the day.
Edgecombe is 6'5", 180.
Yeah,
Dude, he's
bro, a
insanely
freak.
athletic. But his
small though.
His wingspan is crazy though.
He's
Apparently
insane.
too.
He's gonna be a top. Oh yeah, dude, he's insane. But that's what I'm saying. Exactly, McKiffin.
Apparently, he
Bro,
has like a 6'10", 6'11" wingspan.
He
He's
has
gotta realize,
no
like-
killer mentality.
Yeah, like
I
Trey Johnson.
could give
Trey
him the
Johnson
ball,
knows.
but he
I'll
doesn't.
I'll push back on that though, because I think Baylor is a team that's like the more
Exactly.
cohesive that team is and more team oriented they play, the better they are. Like you saw in that game, and we saw a year with Baylor. They're full of talent, dude. This team they hustle after the ball, they team rebound. They just weren't clicking, and I think this team, honestly, Baylor could make it a scary run. I really do. I really do. I love the way Omier plays. I mean, all these guys I feel like just play with chips on their shoulders, and they just give effort. That's all you need sometimes when you have talent is the effort to go along with it. And man, did Baylor come out and give you fucking effort? I don't know if that changes, but
I'll be honest. I think Baylor sucks.
I mean, you could say that, Caleb, but
Like,
I
dude,
mean,
if
if the team is giving you the ball for the last 2 to 3 minutes of the game, they want you to kill. They want you to get your shine on, right? And you're still being passive. I didn't really agree with that. His play style towards.
Yeah, I agree, Rolo.
Duke's
Like,
gonna put him down
he's
pretty
great
easily though.
Yeah,
Huh?
Duke's
Bro,
fucking
you think-
flax them, bro. Yes, bro. Do you realize
know.
how bad Miss State is? Like, yes, I bet on Miss State, bro. They cannot
horrible.
fucking shoot. It was
bet-
it was Hubbard 30 ball. I mean, I forget the big
They're the
name.
supreme
Bro, he had
sticker of
2
the
points.
TBB.
No, it's not that. It's because when
It
those
is.
other guys are hitting their shots, like Kugel and Claudel Harris, like they're a good team. They don't fucking do that. That's the problem. Like it's just Hubbard and I forget the big's name, but he had like 2 points the entire half. Like Ormir was just dogging
Hubbard
it.
looked possessed.
Yeah,
I don't-
Hubbard's.
I was looking at him.
Bro,
that
my
nigga
point
was,
is,
he was on a different planet. Yes,
if
sir.
Baylor didn't get 20 offensive boards and 25 second chance points, Miss State would have ran them out of the gym. Like,
So you looked
Duke's
at
gonna
Clemson.
destroy
You saw Clemson's performance. So if Duke can lose to Clemson, you're telling me there's no shot. And the chat thinks there's no shot in hell Baylor can compete with Duke. Duke lost to Clemson.
No.
You saw how bad Clemson is? Like, let's be honest here, guys. This is basketball in March. Like, it's not a crazy take saying Duke's going to beat Baylor. Like, how long did that
saying
come
like
up?
their play styles, like because somebody said it, the way when Baylor's at its best, Baylor's outrunning you. You got Edgecombe fucking going crazy. Like Duke, that's what Duke does. They beat you up. They slow it down. Their defense, like it's an impossible matchup for them. They would have to hit every.
All I'm
single shot.
saying is
would have
Duke
to
is
miss every
going.
single shot.
Duke hasn't faced an opponent this athletic and this physical like Baylor, and I'm not trying to glaze Baylor too much and say that they're going to win this game outright by any means, guys. So just don't stop coming at me with torches and pitchforks. But they have 2 NBA picks, and they play extremely physical basketball with a ton of effort. That's exactly what Clemson does, and it just so happens that, exactly Clemson has less talent. And we're just hitting their shots at the right times in that Duke game. I know it's a conference game. I know that's a big get-me-up game. DJ, we can bring you up for this. Do you have any thoughts on Baylor as a whole? Do you think they can be competitive at all?
No, I'd say at all the teams that I have thoughts on and takeaways from, Baylor is probably one that I don't have much. I enjoyed that Baylor Mississippi State game. That was a pretty good game. But I don't know. I mean, I heard is the NBA player that people are talking about Edgecombe?
Yeah,
Edgecombe and
if
O'Meara.
that was your
Yeah.
first time watching him, you probably don't think because he's so passive. He's supposed to be a top
No,
five
no,
pick.
not impressed. But I've heard that about a couple people in college basketball. Cam Jones being one of them that like don't really get me that excited. But I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe that just means the draft class is pretty weak. But
No, it's good.
I can tell you that I think Baylor's a team nobody's talking about. Which I would put them. I was just talking about this in my stream with Mid-Major Matt. I kind of feel like UCLA and Baylor. Yesterday was Ole Miss for me. That was my haven't heard a peep about him team, but I don't know that anybody's going to respect Baylor if they didn't respect him against Mississippi State. So I don't know too much about him though. Absolutely insane when he's aggressive.
Yeah, he's a
Yeah, no,
freak. We saw him take over in the second half. That's when the game really obviously Miss State made that run, but that's why they went up by 10 or double digits because Edgecombe like took over and they're playing through him.
Roach revenge game. Yeah.
Rolo, what were you gonna say?
Yeah, go ahead.
I've seen like flashes of Edgecombe like throughout the season for a couple Baylor games I've watched, but he just needs to realize that everybody on his team leans on him in crunch time, and he just needs to take over.
And I'm
Yeah,
not
this
saying
is-
like this is gonna happen, but these guys he's 19 years old. Like to think that he's not
Yeah.
gonna grow a little bit is like he's gonna get bigger.
Yeah, I
This
must have
way-
not seen that insane 8 minutes. Maybe it happened in the second half, but that's when the other
Yeah, it
game
was.
started, and I kind
Definitely
of
the
focused
second
on them a
half.
little bit more.
I will say too, the one thing that would scare me versus Duke is I feel like Baylor again, they're very dangerous when Mir is feasting, getting no boards, getting to the line. Like, is that going to happen versus Duke with Flag and what's his name, Malawak? Like, I don't know how to pronounce his name, but
Yeah.
I don't see him having any sort of.
I think
success
you'll be
down there.
closer than people think. That's all I'll say. But we can move on from Duke Baylor because I know there's games that people want to talk about today too. Any other takeaways, chat? I want to see from you guys. What was your biggest takeaway from round one? Mine personally, I feel like I have to wear it on my sleeve, is how miserable Mizzou looked. That was my biggest takeaway. Rolo, yours
That's a good
was Baylor or what
New
was yours again?
Mexico.
New Mexico, that's right.
Yeah, they
ACC
surprised.
sucks. Yeah, that's what a lot of people are coming to the realization. I heard DJen on his stream talking about the SEC being falling in the stocks. You would say if you watch their stocks, SEC was probably the top of the conferences. Before round one started, and now you can make an argument it's even fallen maybe 2, 3 in terms of power ranking conference wise. But was that your biggest takeaway, DJen?
No, my biggest takeaway is that Lipscomb is the worst basketball team I've ever seen in my entire fucking life. And I think that if anybody argues that we should expand this tournament from 64 to 68 or 74 teams, if there is anybody out there worse than Lipscomb, I don't want to see them play basketball. So that was one of my biggest takeaways. No, I'll give you a legitimate takeaway. I thought that I think that we might have a real problem on our hands with Arizona. I know that Akron seemed to be a little bit of a trendy dog. I mean, I feel like none of these trendy dogs are coming through, except sorry, MJ, but your Missouri Tigers were dreadful. Drake came through, but the way Arizona played in their conference tournament, they were beating Houston in the first half, and then they go out there and they don't skip a beat. I think they shot very well again from the field yesterday and put up 90-something points. I think Arizona might be a real problem. And when I watched them earlier in the season, I started to get my eyes on them late. I watched them at Kansas, and I wasn't that impressed. But then they ended up, dishing it to Kansas later in a little bit of a revenge spot. But yeah, this team is shooting the fucking lights out, and I don't want to put money against them. I don't care who they're playing.
Dude, I don't know if you have a particular player that you like with Arizona, but Vesar, the big man, I think is a complete difference maker, man.
You know what's so funny? When I watched him against Kansas, I was like, this dude looks like Theo Vaughn, and I wasn't.
7-foot
like
Theo Vaughn.
Yeah, like I wasn't that into him, and
He's awesome.
yeah, like I'm coming around a little bit, but Mid-Major Matt had a really good point. Like they're full of mid-major dogs. Like that's what he said. And I'm not a Caleb Love guy, and I think that's what started it for me of not being into Arizona. But like the other guys are keeping him grounded. I think yesterday he had like 9 shot attempts, which is kind of what you probably want from him. And somebody said Akron was just that bad. Jonesy was taken. No offense, but I disagree. I think I don't care who they were playing against. They were they look good. They're
What else do you
scared.
want them to do? What else do you want them to do? They looked fantastic. I think that was they played their most capable ball against a bad opponent. That's what you want to see against
Yeah.
these really talented teams, is take these lower competition or lower talent teams seriously. That's what Arizona took them fucking serious. It was like they were playing Auburn, dropped 93, won by 30. I mean, I think the team is put together well. Like you said, they're full of guys that are, I guess, play with chips on their shoulder, but they also have guys with a little bit of swagger and a little bit of where you need a big shot or you need a guy to step up where the lights are bright. You got guys, like Love, even guys like Bradley are stepping up for Zona. So I'd be nervous to face them if I'm any team right now. I agree with you. All right, you guys want to talk about some of these games today? I think chat wants to chat. Drop a little test tube if you guys are locked in and awake. Hopefully, you guys didn't fall asleep at the wheel at the keyboard. This is when we need opinions more than ever. Appreciate the sub too, Greg. Nice meeting you too. That was a good time getting drinks with everybody at MSG. That was awesome. All right, let me bring up this screen here. Oh, by the way, DJ, how do you feel that I beat Steak in the Prophet X tournament?
Oh, I don't even think I saw that, but I kudos to you. Damn, I didn't even get a vote in.
No. It's like a Kappa challenge.
It was different from the one that you did, DJ. So we're
got
placing
it.
Yeah.
Steak not
So
locked, but he'll be back next week.
We started with $60. Now we're at $120 in Prophet X. Maybe we'll lock some shit in on stream for the tournament too. I think I play. Who do you play, Royal? You play.
I'm playing Beef.
Oh, you play Beef.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm playing Green Room Bets or something. I'm not aware of who that is, but let me just edit the screen real quick. Make it look all nice for everybody. There we go. How's that look? Is that cool for everybody?
Yeah, it's perfect.
All right. No one cares about Chattanooga. All right. McNeese, Purdue. I was listening to your stream a little bit, DJ, before I had to get ready for ours. This was one of the first games that you talked about. So I want you to kind of tee things off for us, because I have a play in this game. It's not a side. It's actually a prop. And I think you could guess who it is, but go ahead.
Oh, God. Is it Braden Smith?
It is Braden Smith.
Fuck that guy. So, no, he's good. I like Braden Smith, and I like him.
He played bad though.
He did play bad. I like him. He's a dog, and but I watched that game, and it's funny when Selection Sunday came out, I tweeted High Point and Lipscomb as my my two dogs. Not great, but I slowly backed off of. I stayed in with Lipscomb, but I backed off with High Point. I couldn't believe how trendy they were. But I just am not really impressed with this Purdue team. And maybe they're more talented, but they haven't shown me anything down the stretch in the season. They got their nuts kicked in the Big Ten Conference tournament, and we're seeing that the Big Ten might be full of some big boys. And I don't think Purdue is one of them. However, I want McNeese to win this game. I'm over Purdue. They bore the shit out of me. They're kind of soft. But McNeese, as much as I like them and what they did to Clemson, I think that might have been a lot more about Clemson just not being able to shoot the ball at all. Are you switching these camera angles on purpose? Because I'm going to get nauseous.
Sorry.
Okay. So I had McNeese race to 20, and I watched the beginning of that game very closely. And even though they won that first half 31-13, McNeese did not look very good. They were turning the ball over. The offensive possessions were pretty sloppy. They took advantage of a lot of putbacks and the offensive boards. Credit to having more dog, but again, Clemson could not hit anything. They had one possession where I think they had like 2 or 3 offensive rebounds and decent looks, and they were clanking everything. But if you want to beat Purdue, you probably have to have what McNeese has, and it is that gritty and that scrappiness. But look at how they shot from 3. Look at how they shot from the free throw line. If Purdue, who had one of probably their worst shooting games that you're going to see them have against High Point, was still able to cover, then they can probably do it against McNeese. And you talked about Braden Smith having an awful game. He was atrocious, in my opinion. 6 for 19, I think he ended up being. And all I heard about this matchup was that the type of guard he is would carve up the type of defense High Point played, and he had his opportunities, just nothing was going in. So
that's why I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
They were all wide open. He shot toward it.
He got what he wanted to the rim. They weren't bad looks. They just weren't going in, and they weren't even like they were like they didn't even look good.
Yeah, they're like
they-
fading at mid-range. Honestly, it was,
Yeah.
I don't want to bring it up as like you versus B.
It- yes, it was like Need for Speed, except nobody was right in his fucking face.
Mhm.
So, anyways, look, if you want to buy low on Purdue, I get it. I kind of want to just play McNeese a little bit because I want them to win. It's kind of like like an emotional vibes play. But I don't know, man. I mean, Purdue, I'm just not seeing it. I'm not seeing it. I haven't seen it. I bet them against Indiana. They went 10 minutes without scoring a point. I bet them against Illinois. They folded like fucking lawn chairs. I'm just out on Purdue and Matt Painter.
Yeah.
So
It's
I don't know.
I'm
it's a
kind of
funny. Go ahead, Ro. I want to say thank
I
you,
was gonna
Boxley,
say,
for the sub first. McNeese State about to give Purdue dick, says Boxley. Go ahead, Ro.
The guy, if Purdue's gonna win, honestly, it is a pretty tough matchup because the way they McNeese plays defense. I was actually talking to Crutch about it. I forgot what it's called. It's like a triple switch on the pick and roll though, and the guy that's gonna like win the game for Purdue is gonna be Fletcher Lawyer. It's the perimeter shooters. So they because Braden Smith. We saw it last game. Him and Kaufman ran. It's just pick and roll. Those two options get taken away. Like there's not going to be an open shot for Braden, and Kaufman Ren's going to get somebody switched on him. But the perimeter guys are usually wide open on kickouts. So somebody said Braden Smith assist earlier. I do like that, but problem is Fletcher Lawyer has zero confidence right now, and that guy is
He had 4 shot attempts.
Yeah, he has zero confidence. So it's definitely a tough matchup on paper. Obviously, it's not always how it goes, but man, I mean, I want to take his points so bad, but the guy looks like he hates his life. But
Yeah,
I definitely lean McNeese a tad bit just because I'm kind of with you, DGen. I don't think Purdue's that good. I really don't. So
man.
For
I
me,
think they struggle
what's up,
offensively,
Jeff?
but
How we are?
What's going on?
In the car.
I'm good. Yeah, I'm in the car. I'm at the parking lot, about to go into the McNeese Purdue game.
Nice.
Oh, let's go. What are the vibes looking like? Is McNeese showing out or what's going on?
Well, I'm not in the gym, so I don't know. I'm waiting for my boy, and then we're just gonna like hit a bar quick. But since you're on this game, I like McNeese. I think outside of Clemson scoring 26 points in the final 4 minutes of their game, am I lagging?
No, you're
No.
good.
So, I mean, Clemson, yeah, they lost by 2. They scored 26 points in the final 4 minutes of the game. So I don't really look at that final score and see them scoring 67 and being like, wow, they scored 67. Clemson made like 10 threes in the final 4 minutes, whatever. The biggest the biggest takeaway for me from the McNeese Clemson game was how McNeese, obviously, we know they're undersized, but they play so much bigger than they are. On paper, Clemson should have been able to do whatever they wanted down low against Clemson, and I mean against McNeese, and they just were not able to get a thing going in the paint. Joe Charles, 6'9", athletic freak. Joe Shoemate, same thing. I just like this team, and I know they don't play drop coverage like Royal was saying. They have a unique defense where they switch. It's like a triple switch. They do. I'm pretty sure they do switch 1 through 5 too on the perimeter, just because of how versatile their whole team is. Like everyone's like 6'6", or like 6'8", and lengthy and can guard. So I think that's going to be a problem for a very heavy PNR team. And also Purdue down low, other than TKR and Caleb First, like Purdue doesn't have dogs. Yeah, they'll be the biggest players on the court. So theoretically they should get more rebounds, but same thing happened with Clemson. Like McNeese just has a bunch of dogs. If I'm being honest, I think McNeese is this year's NC State. It sucks that they're going to have to play Houston next game, but I really think McNeese wins this game.
I think it's funny you bring that up. NC State, it's a good conversation. It's kind of what I thought Dejan was hitting on earlier on his stream. Is kind of like it feels like there's going to be one team that's going to be a dog more often than not in this tournament and keep coming through. I personally fucking hate McNeese. I hate this whole Amir Khan thing. I'm sorry,
Because
Rolo.
you hate the guy with the speaker, though.
Yeah, I think it's the corniest shit ever. I think it's just a cut and copy and paste of NC State. They were walking out to the boombox with DJ Burns. Now you just basically copy and paste Amir Khan into this, what everyone loved last year. I think it's really corny. I think it's really stupid. I'm not saying McNeese isn't a good team by any means. I like their coach's story. I think that team has a ton of heart. But I think this whole like Amir Khan social media thing is is a little bit overplayed, and I do think it's somewhat of a reason to just keep backing McNeese because I feel like the nation and a lot of the casual viewers just enjoy watching this team, or for some reason falling in love with this Amir Khan guy. That being said, do I think that Purdue is a favorable upset matchup in round 2 for a lot of people to back plus 6.5 against? Yes. I'm not betting Purdue. I definitely lean that way. To me, they're the most disrespected team in terms of talent in the tournament. Braden Smith is one of the most elite guards, I think, if not the most elite when he's playing at his best. With that being said, I don't want to fade McNeese. I'll back Braden Smith's points, though. Not impressed by McNeese's defense by any means. I think Clemson playing as bad as they did in the first half, that's a hole you just pretty much can't get out of. And they were able to cut that lead to 2 points. I know at the time that there just ended up not being enough time in that game for Clemson to really take a lead because of how big of a hole they dug themselves in the first half. But, dude, I'm not impressed by McNeese's defense. Clemson just shot like absolute piss. I don't think Purdue's going to do that for a second game in a row either. Braden Smith is probably going to drop 20, and Purdue's going to have close to 80 points. Will McNeese score close to 80 and cover this game? Probably not. So I lean Purdue.
Stylistically, I wouldn't be surprised because McNeese has one of the lowest 3-point rates in the country, and High Point fell in love with the 3 during that game, where when they were going inside, they were getting what they wanted. Purdue was dead last in the Big Ten in 2-point percentage, and McNeese, like I said, one of the lowest 3-point rates in the country. They get everything inside. And also, I'm not buying the whole Big Ten is amazing thing. They're 8-0. They didn't play a single-digit seed. Every single Big Ten team played a double-digit seed, so I'm not really buying into that at all either. So that's where I'm at with the Big Ten and everything like that. And obviously,
Rolo?
I'm on today, but yeah.
Rolo.
Honestly, bro, I agree with a lot of things that everybody said. I've watched this McNeese team. This is probably the only one of the 3 teams that I've watched all year: McNeese, Tulane, and LSU. I'm biased to all the Louisiana teams. I think that I want them to be the Cinderella team. I don't think they'll make it far. I think they'll just make it to the Sweet 16 and then lose to Houston. But just as far as the physicality goes, I think they're more physical than Duke. I think that since they're a team that doesn't rely on the 3 like High Point did, they'll literally just do what works for them, which would be getting into the paint, getting a lot of second chance opportunities, and keeping this game competitive. I think with the size that they have, 1 through 5, it'll definitely create problems for Purdue. Now, Braden Smith will go off because that's just what it is. He shot horrible against High Point. He'll definitely have some positive regression, but I just don't think that Purdue is good, bro. I just think that Purdue will probably get a big lead first half and have that classic meltdown second half.
Maybe a Purdue first half. I don't hate that narrative at all. Smith not a scorer, dude.
No, obviously he is. I just don't think, I like what Royal said. Like, I don't think Smith's going to be as big a scorer today. He's going to have to pass more.
Yeah,
like,
I mean,
versus
that's
High
how
Point, he's playing
paper,
drop
yeah.
coverage. He has that.
Right.
So I think if you're McNeese, at least, you try your absolute hardest to take away Braden Smith and TKR and make the role players beat you. I mean, the role players for Purdue, as good as Purdue has quote-unquote been or whatever, like, their role players I still don't think are good. Camden Heide sucks. Fucking Miles Colvin is ass. He can't hit a 3. Fletcher Larry's in a huge slump. Caleb First is a non-threat on offense. Like, their whole offense is a pick and roll with
I just think it's funny that everybody thinks that Purdue's defense is so soft, yet McNeese's team total is sitting at 67 today. I mean,
look at what they shot. Look at what they shot against Clemson. Their offense sucks.
They're bad.
Yeah,
I just don't.
isn't
Yeah,
the
McNeese is
problem.
bad. I agree. That's why I'm not comfortable pressing the McNeese button. I'm gonna do it maybe first half. They're not bad. And the one thing I would say, Rosa pointed out, like not putting any stock into Clemson scoring 24 points in the last 4 minutes or whatever it was. I think that kind of offsets because that was as cold of a start as you'll see any team have. And that just happens in basketball sometimes. Like, You know, look at Gonzaga coming out against Georgia, and they were fucking 10 for 11 for their first 11 field goals. Like the opposite will happen. There'll be those teams. I don't know that it was anything McNeese was doing defensively. Clemson could not hit a guarded jumper, a contested jumper, or an open jumper. They couldn't make shots, and then their shots fell through, and they won that second half 54-38. McNeese is not that good, but if you're betting on McNeese, it's because you also are betting against Purdue not being good, and that's why I'm okay with it. But I don't think you can get there with McNeese thinking they're very good, because they didn't impress me that much offensively against Clemson.
Yeah, I think for me at the end of the day,
I don't know.
Well, we also
it depends on Purdue. If Purdue's shots are falling, they're winning
basketball. They play pickup ball. They don't run any sets. They don't run any plays. They just run for 40 minutes. And I don't think that Purdue, being a slow-paced team that they are, I don't think they'll be able to have control over the pace of the game. And I think that'll be probably the downfall for them.
DJ, weren't you saying this? I think
Matt Painter is not. Mid-major said that. You know what? I like what this guy said up here, though. He said you either fade Purdue or McNeese, but you're not backing either. Kind of agree with that. Yeah, like you're fading Purdue because they're frauds and they stink, or you're fading McNeese because they're not very good and Clemson just had the worst shooting performance you'll see in the tournament.
Yep.
Yeah, I agree. That was painful.
Royal, anything before we move on?
No, I kind of agree with that comment, honestly. Like, I don't want to back McNeese because I don't trust their offense. I do trust their defense in this matchup. But, again, it's tough because, like, on paper, like, Purdue should struggle offensively unless I forget the other guy, but him and Lawyer are hitting their shots because they're the ones that are going to be open. So, no, I got nothing in this one. This is a tough one.
Cool. Yeah, a little bit too much McNeese love for my liking mid-major. I mean, I absolutely
that's just the tournament for you, man. That's just how it goes.
I mean,
there was a lot of love.
There was just a lot of love on NC State for 6 straight.
Yeah. Blah 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 blah.
It's just people fall in love with underdogs, and then you got the Amir Khan. People are gonna fall in love with that.
At the same time, NC State. There's not an NC State every year. I will say.
No,
not an NC State every year.
More of just like the fact that just because the play is getting a lot of love, like that means fucking nothing at this time of the year.
Barely any small teams left, so of course we're gonna see McNeese.
Exactly, Jonesy.
And McNeese is in Lake Charles,
Louisiana.
I don't know. You don't know.
The plays that are getting a lot of love, the dogs that are getting a lot of love are not hitting.
Right. Yeah, not at all. And I mean, I think New Mexico was the sneakiest dog of yesterday, easily. I didn't hear a peep about that.
Yeah.
MJ sounds like ref today. Negative Nancy. Okay, that is an insane comparison. Insane.
I don't even see that one.
That is an insane comparison.
You get timed out. I don't see.
Nah, leave him in here. Leave him in here. Let him marinate. Let him marinate.
I don't even see that
one. Hey, buddy. Zoom out a little bit. You're watching Twitch chat and talking shit in a Twitch chat. How about that?
All right, bro. Relax.
Saturday morning. How about that?
Chill.
Zoom out a little bit. Zoom out.
Stop.
Let's keep moving on, shall we? Arkansas St. John's. This one, I think I'm going to get some pushback on. I'll be on the Hogs.
I'll be boots on ground.
As Trent would say, I will be cranking hog today.
That shit is so funny. I can't lie. Cranking.
What do you guys think of this game before I kind of go into why I like them?
I mean, there's really not a basketball reason you can give for Arkansas, really.
Yes, there is.
Not much, dude. St. John's is better in almost every aspect besides perimeter shooting. That doesn't mean St. John's is going to blow them out, but my point was, I was going to say Arkansas looks good. Like, they are going to put ball in hoop. Kind of threw me off a little.
It's probably going to be a track meet.
I mean, I'll be boots on ground, but regardless, I think Arkansas has the athleticism to combat a lot of what St. John's likes to do.
Yeah, that's fair.
Like, when you think of how you beat St. John's, you have to be ultra athletic. And I don't know if it was just because he was going against Hunter Dickinson, but Trevon Brazile looked like fucking Superman last game. So I think he's going to have a huge game. He's probably, honestly, one of the most athletic players in the entire country.
Yeah.
I think not having a Duthero back, because I know there was rumors that he might be back, is going to hurt because he's a super athlete as well. I'm kind of torn on the game right now. I want to bet it because I'm going to be at it, but I don't know. I don't really know how to attack it. I do like Arkansas's athleticism, though, especially defensively. But at the same time, like, St. John's just destroys teams in the second half specifically. Like yesterday or 2 days ago, they were up like what, fucking 10 at half, maybe even less. I don't know what it was.
Now it's
And then
because of a late run.
And then they just routed them. I mean, St. John's, Rick Pitino, it's really just Rick Pitino. And when you go into the locker room at halftime, one of them's going to be coached by Calipari, and one of them's going to be coached by fucking Rick Pitino. So I think if you want to take Arkansas, you take them first half, just with what St. John's and Rick Pitino have done to teams in the second half. So, I mean, they make the adjustments and they come out and they look elite.
Here's what I love. Here's what I love about the Pigs. They played with actual heart yesterday. They actually gave a fuck. You saw Trayvon Brazil play to his absolute best ability, which we know is maybe one of the most athletic in terms of shot blockers that we can see in the SEC. In my opinion, Trayvon Brazil is a complete difference maker. And you saw, I mean, the biggest takeaway for me in that game was they shot like shit from three. They shot 25% from three, still put up 80 points on a Kansas team. And St. John's is a great team. Don't get me wrong. They're number one in defense efficiency all across the board in the country. I mean, there's a reason that Arkansas's team total and this game total is low. But with that being said, man, I like Arkansas, man. They're athletic as fuck, and I think they match up in the best way possible against St. John's. We said it all year with St. John's. Why have they been so good? Because they have 7 freaks that are actual athletes and can play ball. Their offense has really been the biggest concern. I think that's what happens today. You get St. John's, I think, with a little bit of tired legs. I think their offense isn't going to click as well as it was against Omaha. I mean, what they put up, 90 points, 93, whatever they put up. I just think Arkansas is going to make this game really competitive. They might not be good in terms of as well coached or well disciplined or as talented as the St. John's team is, but I can guarantee you they're just as athletic. So I'm going to be rocking with Arkansas +7 flat. So Arkansas shows true colors, lose by 14. See, that's another thing. I don't think that Kansas win was Arkansas, like anybody's impressed by them. I think it's, okay, Kansas is actually fucking horrible.
Definitely. I agree with that.
I think that was the bigger takeaway from that game too, yeah.
I was impressed with how easy Arkansas scored from two. Just because as much as people hate Kansas, I think they have a top 10 2-point defense in the country. And Arkansas made that shit look like elementary.
At the end of the day, dude, you got Jawan Harris. You can't count on that guy to score. He's a pass-first guard. And you got Hunter Dickinson, who's soft as baby shit. And when things aren't going his way, he puts up a temper tantrum. And when things are, he's fucking flexing and yelling on the court. I think that dude's a complete bozo and cornball. And yeah, fuck Kansas basketball. But I think it's a perfect opportunity to back. I think Arkansas can win this game outright. Not going to lie.
I'll let you guys know, too, like, what the crowd situation looks like. I'm interested to see if there's going to be a lot of Johnny's fans. Because we're at a
Where is it?
It's in Providence, so it's
probably
way closer than
There
Arkansas.
will be.
more than Arkansas.
It'll probably be a home game.
I know there'll be more than Arkansas. I just don't know if it'll be, like, flooded with St. John's fans. Like, I know a lot of Providence fans, like basketball, have been going to these games. So
I think since they won the Big East championship, I think vibes are at an all-time high for that program. I think they're going to show out. Yeah, it's not too far. That's like an hour and a half, right, from like Middle State, New York.
Nah,
no, it's like
2 or 3.
4. No, it's like 3.5, 4.
It depends what part of Rhode Island, I guess, but yeah, it's pretty far.
It's
okay.
Providence.
Oh, it's up top.
Yeah.
Oh, Providence.
Never traveled there.
That's close to 4 then.
DJen, any thoughts on this one from what we've said?
Yes. I like some of what was said, and I don't like some of what was said. I agree with Rosa. If you like Arkansas, you should take the first half because St. John's continues to get out to slow starts. I thought Nebraska-Omaha looked pretty fucking good, and like they were like St. John's was actually on upset alert when I went to bed after watching that first half, and then St. John's does what they keep doing. They wake up, they beat Creighton in the second half by 16, they beat the fuck out of Marquette, then they beat Nebraska-Omaha by 30. MJ, you said Arkansas shot 25% from three and they still put up 79. Is Arkansas a good 3-point shooting team, or is that just who they are? I don't know. I don't know Arkansas very well, but I wouldn't. They don't seem to me on the surface as being a team that should be shooting much higher than that. Rosa said he was surprised how easy they were scoring from two. I think that whole entire takeaway, which I bought into Kansas because of the numbers, but I did say they are not very good. Kansas confirmed not very good. And most importantly, soft as baby shit. That is why Arkansas was able to take advantage. You look at Arkansas down the stretch of this season, and we're talking about a team that plays against Auburn and puts up 60. Texas A&M puts up 61. At South Carolina puts up 53. I think Arkansas is in trouble today. Now, it's a question of what kind of start the St. John's get out to, because you probably in the round of 32 against Calipari, and I'm not even the biggest Calipari guy, you probably can't get down 12 or 14 points and claw back and then cover 7. But I like the under. I don't know that we're going to see another 83-point performance from St. John's against Arkansas. It looks like to me like they have a pretty good defense. And I really don't think you're going to get easy buckets from Arkansas. So I thought about going Arkansas team total under. I think I might go game under, but I don't know, man. St. John scares the absolute piss out of me.
That's a good point.
You just have to think about the team that Arkansas just played out on the court, and now 2 days later, who they're going to face. Total contrast, in my opinion. St. John's and Ejiofor down low. These guys are absolutely fucking ruthless. I think they are going to go out there. I really want to get cheeky and take like the first half team total for Arkansas. I think, but again, they get out to slow starts. But I think Arkansas is going to have trouble scoring. But that's kind of where I saw.
That's a great point, DJ. And you're right. Arkansas isn't the best 3-point shooting team. So to say there's necessarily
they did. I'll give you this though. They were 17 of 20 from on the free throw line. St. John's does foul, and
St. John's can't hit free throws.
Yeah, so that right there would be like there's reasons to take 7 with Arkansas. I'm by no means like saying it's a bad bet, and I'm not comfortable laying it with St. John's, but it's just hard for me to take a team that just beat Kansas because they're fucking so soft. It's crazy.
It's a great point. You're completely right on that point. I think you, out of everyone's, gave us the best the dialogue for it. So I appreciate your thoughts on that one. We'll move to Michigan.
Real quick, I took Kadary Richmond in this game. I had him last game versus Omaha.
You love betting this guy. Dude.
I love that guy, Royal. I love that guy.
So I'll be honest. I didn't know much about Omaha. I mean, I don't know if anyone does, but if you watch that first half, I mean, they packed the fucking paint. Like, there wasn't a guy near the 3-point line. And if you know Richmond's game, he drives a lot. So that had no chance. Plus, he got in foul trouble. So I like him this game a lot. Coming off a foul trouble game, I think the paint is going to be a lot more open versus Arkansas. And there's not actually an on-ball defender. I don't think they're going to put Brazil on him. I think he's going to be on Lewis. But, I mean, Janelle Davis is 6'2". Boogie Fland is he's smaller too. Like, he has the size mismatch. I think it's going to run through him, pick and roll with Ejiofor, and he's going to hit his shots. And it's 14.5, so I love that for him. I feel like he usually gets pretty low lines because of how good Lewis and Ejiofor are offensively and just their deep rotation that they have. Not that they necessarily use it, but, I mean, we saw round 1. Welcher, balled out. Davion Smith is very good off the bench. Like, they have these guys, Aaron Scott too. So I like Richmond in this one. I think it's going to flow through him. I think the pick and roll with Ejiofor, driving kick with a bigger guard is going to,
that guy jukes me out of my seat when he dribbles. Oh, yeah.
Oh, I know. Yeah. I love him. Yeah. I like him a lot. So coming off foul trouble, he ended up shooting pretty well. It's just that game turned into a rout. So I think this game's going to be a lot closer, and he's going to need a lot more shots.
Cool. Beauties.
I'm curious to see if Lewis continues this hot streak. The guy's just incredible, man. He has that mid-range, patent mid-range.
St. John's, at the end of the day, I can't knock you for betting them because they're always going to give you top-tier effort. So love teams like that. That being said, I like the Hogs to win. All right, let's keep going.
0.5, Alex.
Michigan,
they get LCLV on it again, so see how that goes.
What'd you get?
I think I'm lagging.
What'd you get? You're not lagging. What'd you get? Royal?
Oh yeah, I think Royal's frozen.
Oh, no. Yeah, he's gone. Okay.
GT.
We'll keep going here. Michigan, Texas A&M. Jeff, do you want to set the scene?
Yeah, this is my pod.
Wow.
Like I said, I mean, maybe it's my theme
Wow,
today.
Dejan.
Maybe this is my theme today. But I'm fading the fuck out of the Big Ten. Everyone's glazing them because they went 8-0 against double-digit seeds. Congratulations. Like, you guys were all favored. You won. Good job. I think it's a fucking joke that people are glazing this conference. I'm fading the shit out of them. Give me A&M. I literally watched Illinois go into the fucking Michigan Wolverines stadium maybe a month ago. And I think they might have grabbed 30 offensive rebounds. And that's Illinois. I'm not saying Illinois is a bad rebounding team because they're one of the nation's best, but the nation's best, I think, absolutely decimates this Michigan team on the glass. Michigan hasn't been able to shoot the three ball well. Shot quality actually scored their win against UCSD as a loss. UCSD was missing a lot of jumpers, but that's kind of what mid-majors usually do. So not going to put a lot Jesus. Not going to put a lot of stock into that. A&M has tons of experience, and they've been here before. They almost beat Houston last year in the tournament. I just think they're a bunch of dogs, and Michigan's kind of soft. So I'll be taking A&M. I truly just think the shot volume is going to be the difference. I think Michigan, with the way they're going to – I think Michigan gets destroyed on the glass, and they lose the turnover battle. So I'll lay 2.5 with A&M and hope to God that they make some type of shots.
Dejan?
Well, I gotta head out after this because I'm Corp, so this will probably be the last game. Thank you guys for having me.
Of course, dude.
You know, it's not that I'm against the bet. I think it's I said this about Creighton Louisville because Beeve nuked Creighton, and I was just like, man, this is a crazy game to have a big bet in, a big position, because it felt like kind of a coin flip, and clearly that ended up being totally comfortable. So take what I say with a grain of salt, but I just am uneasy about fading Michigan right now. And so I watched the beginning of that UCSD game, and we know everybody was in love with UCSD for the turnover metric. And the beginning of that game was about as poorly of a start as UCSD could have asked for, because they don't turn the ball over and they had 4 quick turnovers. And Michigan looked pretty good. I think they went up to like a 13-2 or 4 lead or whatever. But then Michigan turned into Michigan immediately. They had 8 turnovers in the first 10 minutes, and I tweeted it. They're on pace for 32 turnovers. But they tightened up. They still almost gave the game away, but they tightened up. They cleaned it up. I think they only ended with like 14 or 15 or something. But I don't know, man. I just have I don't know a lot about Texas A&M, and fading the Big 12, or I'm sorry, the Big 10. I would have been fine with that going into the tournament, because that's part of the reason I took a shot on Wisconsin. I don't love anyone in the Big 10. I felt like it was kind of wide open, and sure enough, Michigan wins it 12-1. So I don't hate that position at all, but I just think Michigan's kind of still playing their best form of basketball. And Danny Wolf just seems like a tournament guy. Does he not seem like a fucking tournament guy?
You're just in love with Danny Wolf.
I fucking but I hate him sometimes too.
DJ, in the past month, I've heard you talk about Danny Wolf 6 different times, and every time you're like, because I just love Danny Wolf.
But you have to agree, when he is good, who is beating Michigan? He makes that entire team such a problem with the way. I don't even like their guards. I don't like their guards at all. But the dude can fucking facilitate. If he's hitting shots and getting rebounds, Gold makes life easy for Golden, who I don't even like him now. I don't want to like Michigan, but Danny Wolf makes me like Michigan. I hate to love Danny Wolf.
You gotta like Donaldson too, dude. That guy's a fucking dog.
You know, I didn't, but I'm starting to.
Yeah.
All right, you want to know why I don't like Danny Wolf?
Yes.
Because I took Michigan -2 against Purdue earlier this year, and they were up 2 with maybe 3 seconds left, and Danny Wolf was at the line, and he missed both, and I pushed.
That's tough.
So maybe I have something against Danny Wolf.
Definitely do.
But as good as he is, he does have a turnover problem.
Oh yes,
he does get into like it doesn't even when he's playing great, he still has those moments where you're like, what the fuck was that? And I'm not saying Wolf and Golden are gonna play bad because I think they're the best big duo in the country. This is more about the guards to me. I think Michigan guards are just bad. Roddy Gale has sucked.
I agree.
Namari Burnett is their, like, to me, the only person that I actually think the ball's going in when they shoot it is Namari Burnett. Trey Donaldson, I'm not a fan, not a believer in him. Yeah, he's had flashes this year where he looks unstoppable, but he's also had moments where he looks absolutely idiotic. And I just trust A&M more. These guards have been here. The only guard I don't really like on A&M is Zurich Phelps because he thinks he's Steph Curry when he can't shoot. But Wade Taylor has great performances in the tournament. I know trust me, I don't even like him as a player.
I love him. I love him, dude. I can't lie.
I think he shoots.
I know
much,
everyone up here hates him, but I think here's the thing. Wade Taylor's not a guy maybe you draft if you were making ideal like college basketball lineup. Like you can't lie though. He's fun to watch. Like this guy, and he's capable of some things that most guards in college basketball aren't. You know, he's going to give you highlights that other guys just simply can't, and make plays that other guys simply can't. Yes, will he chuck up some dumpster fire shots? For sure. Will he turn the ball over? For sure. But at the same time, sometimes you need a guy to step up when the moment's biggest. He's that guy. And I kind of been saying it because his March career has actually been extremely lackluster. A&M hasn't been able to get past the second round while Wade Taylor's been on the roster, which is 4 years. In his senior year, with some of the bigs that have been playing a lot better for A&M, that's really what they've needed, is not to rely completely on scoring from their guard play. And Pharrell Payne has been that guy to fill the void in terms of getting those paint buckets. I mean, A&M's just a team. When I compare Michigan and A&M, when I'm looking at this game, I want to ride with Wade Taylor and the dogs at A&M more so than I do and die on a hill with Michigan and Danny Wolf and Donaldson. Like, not saying anything bad about Michigan because I think they're underrated, and I wouldn't be surprised if they win this game. This is a coin flip game in a lot of ways. But I think Wade Taylor is just too good of a player to go out and march for a fourth straight year like this. I just can't see it. I just can't see it. I know he's not a favorable guy, but he's loaded with talent, man.
Fair enough.
So
I like what this guy said. Wade Taylor is Caleb Love. Yeah, that's fair. At the end of the day, it comes down to, are you more of a Danny Wolf or a Wade Taylor guy? And if you're going to war with Wade Taylor, I like I said, I got no problem with the Texas A&M bet, but like, it's just how I feel. Like, that's your strongest position on the card. It's uncomfortable. So I guess more power to you. Do not pair my king to that bozo on Arizona.
I was gonna say the reason people.
I gotta hop off, guys. Sorry.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for having me. Good luck, and I'll be tuning in on my commute to the city.
Of course, bro. Appreciate you coming on. Enjoy. All right.
Appreciate you, DJ.
Of course, man. Thank you.
All right.
The reason everybody hates Wade Taylor, it's not him as a person. It's because this guy's volume and everything is insane for somebody who shoots like 30 per. Like, he just doesn't shoot well, and he takes shots like he shoots well. That's why everyone.
Well,
hates
this
him.
year he's been shooting. He's been shooting below his average this year. It's been actually like his worst year shooting.
Yeah, but look at his career. He hasn't like 35%, 32%. Like, he's just not.
I mean,
good.
the people that know more basketball than us.
Games.
I mean, the people that know a lot more basketball than us on that staff are greenlighting him for a reason.
Because they have nobody else.
I mean, it's been 4 years of it. I think they just believe in him at the end of the day, and stylistically like playing this. Because at the end of the day, what does A&M do really well? They rebound the ball well.
Yeah.
How do you create rebound opportunities? You shoot. So you kind of need a guy like Wade Taylor to get the ball. Like, you see him make shots. I swear to God, just to put the ball near the rim so the big guys and the runners can make an opportunity to get a second chance bucket and layup. If you watch A&M, you'll question Wade Taylor because he'll put up these floaters, running, getting hit while doing so. I think it enables the bigger guys to get boards. I really do, on the offensive end. You could think that's crazy, but he draws a lot of attention. So I would not be surprised if that's like some of their game plan, just with the way A&M plays. Rolo, do you have any Thoughts on this game before we move on?
Honestly, I think that people are gonna try to ride with the Big Ten in the first game, and McNeese covers, so they try to go take A&M, and then Michigan covers. I like A&M to win the game, but I'm not comfortable laying half right now.
That's fair. I could totally see that happen. I mean, A&M likes to play slugfest ball anyway, so saying a game
Yeah.
won't come down to the wire with them is, especially with how this tournament has played out, and we've barely seen any games have late game drama. We really haven't. I mean, we saw Drake in
haven't had
Missouri.
one buzzer beater.
Nope. And
No game winners, no buzzer beaters, no overtimes. It's just
everyone's saying round
You can
one
thank
was
that
boring
dumbass
this year.
from this state.
it wasn't boring. There just was no big upset. And I just feel like there was no big upset because of the NIL now. Everybody's leaving these small ass schools to go play for these big schools, get the big bucks, and it's just it's just literally a big ass gap in talent.
I wish. I mean,
This is all.
it really
is.
does come down to
Just-
the money, because there used to be moments where like you get these big time players that either are from the school like or area and want to play for and don't want to like go too far away from home, or just wanted to be the guy on the team, right? Wanted to be the sole like bright spot on maybe not that great of a team, right? And have a lot of volume and play a lot of minutes and be able to showcase your talent. Like some guys used to do that. Now it's more so money focused, and it used to be the
Right.
opposite. So that is
That's
a fact. For
why
sure.
we don't have any big upsets.
I think you're onto something with that. I really do. I also think gambling has taken. I'm not going to say has influenced. I'm not going to say anything's rigged or fixed, because I think that's a little
No,
bit
but
insane.
there is an
It's-
influence with gambling. No, you saw the
Yeah.
interview, the post game press with Norfolk State coach.
No, I didn't see it. What was it?
Well, he basically said in a short story, yeah, we saw that we were 30-point underdogs, and we all agreed that we weren't. Okay, you lost by 26. Good job.
Yeah, yeah, that was crazy. He was like parading that too. He's like, I told you.
Yeah,
You
like,
it's like, bro, you still got
You
waxed.
victory lap in there? In the Big 2-5, bro. Come on.
Yeah, it was this. It was this.
Like, told y'all we covered 30 and a half.
Man,
That
I
shit
told
was
Full
easy.
starters, you guys lose by 50. Come on.
Dude, that reminds me of like the vid when the dude's like beat to shit, his nose is all bloody, he's like has a broken arm, he's like, man, I whooped the shit out of that dude.
Yeah.
All right, let's keep going. I lean A&M here for sure. Drake,
I do
Texas, Drake, Texas Tech. What do you guys think of this one? Royal, you want to start off with this one?
Yeah, I think this is the hardest one of the day, one of them, because I don't want to say it's a fat line, as in like it's weird, but it's a pretty big line for good reason. Texas Tech is nasty. I've been high as fuck on them, but they haven't looked great as of late for them. I mean, Toppin, I don't want to say he's been non-existent, but for a guy
They
that
easily could have lost that game to UNCW.
right. Yeah, exactly. But Toppin, I mean, 11 points, 12 points. Like, he's been quiet. I love Hawkins. I think he's a great point guard, not necessarily scoring wise, but just to run the offense. He's been shooting tour dates. I mean, Darian Williams is banged up. I don't even know if McMillan's playing, but I love Texas Tech defensively. I think they're going to give them
Thank you.
lot more issues than
Yes.
Mizzou did.
Yes.
But I think Mizzou's offense is better than Texas Tech, where Drake can give Texas Tech a lot more issues defensively. So I don't know. I honestly think if Drake's going to hit their shots or not, because I think Texas Tech is going to force them into a lot of bad shots where, honestly, if you watch Mizzou, they hit, honestly, Drake played really well, but they hit some crazy shit. Can't even lie.
You just gave my whole sell job on Drake team total under. I hope you know.
I like that. I mean, but like I said, man, I mean, I don't know who's stopping Toppin. I really don't. No pun intended there, but there's a lot of guys on Texas Tech that have been shooting really poor, and I wouldn't be surprised if it starts to turn. And like I said, is McMillan playing? C-Dot, I know you fucking go there. Is he playing? Because they need him bad. But guys like Darian Williams need to step up. I don't know how to explain it. It's just I feel like positive regression is coming for Texas Tech offense because it's been bad if you look at the box score. for their good players at least.
You hit the nail on the head, man. I mean, you get Drake, who's coming off shooting, 55% against Mizzou?
Bro, he's like 6'10".
Mizzou's defense is terrible. They're bad. But the one thing about Drake that will stay consistent in this game from that Mizzou game is that they will drain every fucking shot clock, no matter how many points they're down, no how many points they're up. They drain at least 20 to 25 seconds off the shot clock every fucking possession. And it's miserable to watch when you're on the other side. With that being said, I can't lay the points with Texas Tech for that reason. It is so painful to lay points against this Drake team because of the way they just hold rock. I mean, it's fucking annoying. It really is. And it throws offenses out of sync, to be frank. You saw it with Mizzou. I mean, they were completely lost. It looked like they had never ran an offensive set in their lives. And obviously a team that was a lot better in transition than they were in half-court offensive sets is Mizzou. On the vice versa, though, I think I'm going to fade, or I know I am, Drake's offense. I mean, they shot fantastic against a bad defense in Mizzou. Now we're getting Texas Tech. I don't think Drake is going to shoot even close to 50%. I don't think honestly, if I had to get a score prediction for this game, I think it's going to be 48 to 60. Like, I really think it's going to be that low of a scoring game. It's going to be nasty. And I don't think Drake has any success on offense. It's going to be really, really ugly because of the way Drake plays stylistically and the way Texas Tech matches up on the defensive end. I don't think Drake – I think Drake is a good opportunity to reverse ladder their team total under, to be honest. Don't want to do full game just because I think Texas Tech has the ability, but there's not going to be a lot of opportunity.
Yeah, Texas Tech falls apart throughout the game. We saw it with UNC. Was it UNCW? Whatever team that was. Hey, that was like a 4-point game at one point. Like, they just fall apart and then they pull back away. So I like that better. Agreed.
Yep. I mean, Sturts is fantastic. It's hard to fade him. Yeah, definitely hard to fade him. But at the same time, man, if you were watching that like every possession of that Drake Mizzou game, like I was, and it was miserable the entire time.
Shots.
Drake was shooting phenomenal. Just the entire team. Sturts obviously was the focal point, but they were all shooting amazing. I mean, 55% as a team is nuts, especially with such low volume. It's crazy.
Yeah, he's very smart. He's a smart fucking player. I feel like he does not make the wrong decision.
He doesn't have many weaknesses, to be honest with you. Like, to be frank, I mean, he would start on a majority of teams in CBV. So
honestly, since I have to take a spread, I might take that for the tournament because I've been saying it all year. I feel like I got to back him.
What, A&M?
Yeah. No, Texas Tech. And honestly, Beeves on Drake too.
Oh, A&M. That's what I meant, Tech. Sorry.
Yeah.
Rolo, any thoughts from what we said?
Drake is the dog of the day, honestly. I don't think their offense is really too far behind Texas Tech. They're really good at the second chance opportunities. They're a really good rebounding team as well, and they've done well in non-conference games this season. So,
how about this though?
I'm also going to be in team total over 60.
What is not saying one's going to hit and one's not, because we know that shit doesn't always work out. But what is more comfortable of a bet? St. John's -7 or Texas Tech -7? I think it's St. John's -7.
I think St. John's is more comfortable, definitely. Laying 7.
I agree.
Me personally, though, I'm probably gonna be on St. John's team total, just because of what Perfect Rotation just said. They play kind of similar to MSU. They start slow and then explode in the second half.
Yep.
But I don't know, man. Drake is a very slow-paced team. I think most of the slow-paced teams have been kind of controlling the game. So if they can do that, then this game is going to be closer than we think, and I think there'll be a live dog down the stretch.
All right. Well, we're going opposite sides, Rolo. We're going opposite
Battle
sides.
of the Berg. One thing about winning, somebody always got to lose. So may the best man win.
I did St. John's money line and Tech money line. Ooh.
1-1.
I can't lie. I don't like that.
1-1.
I don't know
Yeah.
who the one is gonna be because I do like Arkansas. That's why I didn't really lay it with St. John's. I just took the team total.
Yeah.
But I
Dude,
think
MLPs is just, I feel like, a death wish in the tournament. It really is.
Round
Yeah.
one, maybe not, but now
Round one.
Yeah.
round one is easier, but
moving forward, definitely.
Yeah.
I think this one's tough, man. Because like I said, if Texas Tech isn't hitting the shots, like they're not gonna give them any chances. So
Okay. Next game, shall we? Appreciate everyone sticking in here. We got 160 people in here. That's pretty fucking cool. Sure. we got
Isn't it
some
Wisconsin,
Wisconsin
though? Wait, is it Drake? I could have sworn it was Wisconsin.
Dude,
no, Wisconsin is 5.
there's no way he put 10 units on Drake.
I think he put 10
He
on
said,
the
he said
MLP.
10 unit for this game.
Well, he bet on Wisconsin. On his card it says 5 U's. So is he capping?
Oh, it's
he's-
Purdue St. John's money line. Oh, I see it
Purdue
now.
St. John's money
Is it?
line. So
Oh,
McNeese.
so he threw that. He tried to throw everybody off with that.
So look, the MLP. I'm gonna throw some lunch money on this. McNeese, Drake.
You're fading beef.
Oh, yes, bro. I love that he's smart. He's smart because he took Purdue first half. And that's the way I see the game going. Purdue gets up first half and they crumble.
5 US. Okay. Interesting.
That's so funny.
Yeah, he does hit the big ones. You can't knock him. He does.
Yeah, Marquette was a good look yesterday.
We're just messing around, guys, obviously.
I
Um,
forgot Marquette. I feel like he
let's-
normally does though, right?
Let's
Nah, he
talk.
went 1-1 yesterday. I think Wisconsin will get it done. I don't know, bro. The Mormons play very disciplined basketball, so I'm just
That team's good.
going back and forth. I'm going back and forth. I don't really know yet.
I'll be on BYU.
That might be a game that I just wait for the Trent Noti and I just make my decision there. I don't know.
You're
It's a
deep.
really tough game to read for me.
Let's talk.
Which one are you hitting?
Creighton Auburn. So
I
I'll
get
set
it.
the scene if you don't mind. I have 2 units on Auburn today. I think the line move is a complete smoke screen, to be honest, from 9.5 to 8.5. I think they win this game handily by double digits, to be honest. I mean, Auburn couldn't have looked worse in most people's eyes. Obviously didn't care. We talked about at the beginning of the stream. Auburn just gave absolutely no fucks. Playing that dog wash team, winning by 20 with their eyes closed and their arm tied behind their back. Creighton, on the other hand, hit pretty much every shot they took. I mean, they didn't even look like the Warriors. They looked like Space Jam when they took Michael Jordan's special juice. Creighton hit legitimately every shot from deep during that game. If you watch that game versus Louisville, I mean, they trousered them. It was bad. And when Creighton's hitting their shots, they're a really scary team. But you're getting 2 teams, one looking fantastic in Creighton, getting 9 points, and Auburn looking very suspect, a 1 seed that nobody really believes in. I mean, the amount of Creighton money lines I've seen today is insane to me. Auburn is a real deal. They just didn't care. They're going to get up for this game and absolutely slap Creighton in the mouth. Probably win this game close to 20 points. Not going to lie to you. You're going to see Auburn's best basketball today, and I'll have 2 units on their spread. Not worried at all about Creighton today. I can't lie.
Yeah, I definitely lean Auburn as well. I want to bring that back up. Where was that? People hate Ashworth because he probably has the most punchable face you've ever seen. But yeah, he's good. He's good if he's hitting his shots.
Other than
Otherwise,
Jeff
like
Rosa.
like we saw in the Big East. I mean, that dude went didn't he go like 0 for 12 or some bull? He had a really poor shooting game, but yeah, no, he's good. And honestly, he has like that fucking Jimmer and like Curry. Like he takes some deep ass shit. Not even like end of the shot clock. If he's open, he's pulling it. So I will say too. Fuck, where's he gonna go with this? He's gonna. I like both guards in this game because obviously with the bigs, you're getting Kalkbrenner drop coverage, which actually leads into my prop. Baker Mazzara, I get it. The guy's a whack job. He's 25, but this is as good of a matchup as you're going to get for him. I just hope he doesn't foul out or punch somebody or get himself benched because, again, we took it with Hepburn round 1. You see Kalk, man. We do it in the NBA all the time. He just sits in the paint. He lets the guard shoot. And honestly, against a team like Auburn, you got to stop Broome first. So I think him and Pettiford are going to have huge games. They're going to have all the opportunities. I don't think Auburn's or Creighton's going to be able to slow it down. So I do agree with you. I do lean Auburn. And on the other side, pretty much just have to stop Calc and Ashworth. I mean, I don't think Neal's putting up 30 again. I know he looked crazy, but he's been inconsistent all year. So I'm curious to see what he does because we kind of said it. He's the X factor for that team because you know what you're getting with Ashworth and Calc. It's going to be that pick and roll. It's very similar to Purdue with Smith and Kaufman. But if Neal's balling, it's going to be a closer game. But I don't think he's going to do that. I think Auburn's going to lock in on that. More of a story. I love Baker Mazar today, matchup wise, and I like Auburn.
Cool. Rollo, thoughts?
Two questions two comments in the chat I want to address. Can you pull up what Sports Guy Evan said? I really like this nugget because I love Gonzaga today. Maybe a little too much, but I really do like Gonzaga. I'm going to stay away from Auburn. I do think they put belt on Creighton. I think the common denominator in this game will be
Oh, he carried that.
Oh, perfect timing. Thank you, Des
Bryant. I think Creighton gives Auburn a run for their money.
Wait, show that again?
Yeah.
Pull back.
Keep going, Rollo.
Yeah, I think the common denominator in this game is going to be Kalkbrenner. Like, if he can't get what he want in the paint, then or in the post, then it's gonna be a long game for Creighton.
Mm-hmm.
So depending on how he is, I think Creighton will probably be a live play. Like if Auburn, they go down big, I love Creighton probably like plus 18, plus 20 and a half. They go down big like that, bro. Like if Auburn doesn't come out nonchalant like they did round one, I would love to take Creighton live.
I don't think it's an Auburn. Yeah, I don't think it's a massive blow. I think if Auburn's going to cover, it's going to be like 12 or 13-ish.
Nah,
I mean, Creighton's hot right now, man.
We've seen teams blow teams out the water in the first half and then fizzle out in the second half.
You're not
so
wrong.
If I get a bigger number than 8.5 at halftime, I'm taking Creighton.
The thing is, like, Auburn's a scary team to get full effort, is all I'm saying. I really do think.
I think they're gonna, dude. I think we hit it on the head. Like, they knew they were winning that game.
Full effort, but I do think they give more than the 30% that they gave.
Not even 30%.
Good read, Caleb. Shireman.
Why the fuck does Beeve have 12U on St. John's Purdue money line? Dude, why does Beeve do anything? I couldn't tell you, bro.
Exactly, higher destiny. Like if I see that 17.5, I'm definitely biting, bro. I'll pay to see that not covered.
But MJ, they play like they don't give a damn. Come on, bro. You know they're not coming out like that
against a 16 seed.
Come on, man. Florida went up 40, and dude, but these are not like competitive teams. I guarantee you, if they're up on Creighton, they're gonna absolutely stomp throat. It's not like they're playing a 16 seed or a mid-major. They're playing Creighton.
TC best gets what I'm saying. These teams go up and they get comfortable.
I mean, they also just go on a huge run, and then you're not going to hit every shot.
Right.
Why do you place it 4 times for 3? Action when you're verified, you can't do more than 5 units. So he was probably just spacing it out in identical unit sizes, 4, 4, 4 for 12. Nothing more than that. All right, I'm trying to get my card out. Sorry if I'm.
All right, I'll do it. I mean, Badgers, Mormons.
Yeah, talk about this.
Well, I'll be honest. I'm not taking a side because every time I fade BYU, they're the best team in the country, and I think we found out they are not just Utah Merchants, or wherever the fuck they play. I think it's Utah. That team's fucking good. That team's fucking good, man. It's as simple as that. The problem is, it's like you can I mean, sure they have Richie Saunders, but like I just feel like they don't have like that that star player for how good they are, if that makes sense. Yeah, facts, McKiffin. It's pretty incredible. It's incredible. But like Wisconsin, you can pinpoint. It's Tanji, right? Auburn, Broome, Creighton. It's Calc, Gonzaga. It's EK, I guess. Houston, Cryer. Like they just don't have. I guess it's Saunders, but like he doesn't really match up with them. But that team's fucking good. I did take Tanji points. I mean, I don't know if you guys have seen what he's been doing, but it's been fucking bad. Really bad.
He's been playing like absolute shit.
Ass. And it started in, Michigan he went 1 for 14.
Yeah, it's been bad.
Tanji.
It's like been watched.
And then versus Montana, he didn't really need to do shit. He had 15 points, but only shot 5 shots, just went to the free throw line. I think he goes absolute bonkers today, which makes me lean Wisconsin just because of that. But I really don't have a side on this game, man. I mean, I really think it's because you know what you're getting with Wisconsin. BYU, yes, they had like the hottest run and the regular season, and they showed how good they are, but like they were pretty inconsistent throughout the year. But I don't really know. I don't know how you have a read on this game. If someone does, please tell me. But I think this is a tough one as fuck. Tanji didn't start versus Michigan. I mean, it's fine, but he still played 32 minutes and shot like shit.
When are we going to give the respect that the Mormons deserve, brother? I mean,
yeah.
I think getting Wisco at this tappable of a money line is maybe, I think, the easiest button to press on the board, honestly.
Yeah,
I mean,
especially with the Big Ten being 8-0 straight up in against the spread.
Just in my personal opinion, I don't think anybody actually thinks BYU is good. And to me, putting up 8, like, yes, VCU.
Yeah,
VCU is bad, yes, and I think that's the takeaway a lot of people have from that BYU VCU game is, okay, VCU is a mid-major that maybe was playing some lackluster competition and was overgraded by analytics as a whole. Putting up 80 points on them regardless is impressive in my eyes. BYU can shoot the lights out against anybody, and to me, Wisconsin is a team that just doesn't have that swagger right now that BYU has. I think BYU is a team that, in terms of hungry dogs run faster, in terms of people overlooking them. I mean, BYU has bulletin board material of nobody thinking that they can get past even the first round versus VCU. I mean, imagine the locker room in BYU before that game versus VCU. I mean, they were probably that fires a team up. That gives you motivation. And I just don't want to fade this team. I think they're on a crash, or I think Wisconsin's on a crash course, to be honest. It's a really nasty pull to get BYU and with how good a basketball they've been playing.
Yeah.
That's my personal opinion. BYU's getting the number 1 recruit. Yep, they paid $7 million.
You know who's a fucking dog is Keita on BYU. Like that guy, I don't know how to explain it, but he's a fucking monster.
Do you think people are impressed by BYU beating VCU?
Yes.
Really?
Because,
I don't think they're impressed. I think they're shocked because a lot of people liked VCU.
Yeah, exactly. Because if you look at analytics, and the reason why a lot of people took VCU is because they rank extremely high in analytics, and they had the best like limiting effective field goal percentage, whatever it was. They dropped 90 on them. Yeah. Like I don't think anybody's shocked BYU won. It was like the fashion that it was dominance. They dominated one of the best mid-major teams, if not the best.
To me, I
was one of the best in a very long time.
Yeah, but it kind of goes to show that like everyone thought BYU was like the square side, like tapping BYU was too free, and that's why a lot of people liked VCU, myself included. But at the end of the day, I don't think anybody's impressed. I really don't. I don't think anybody's saying, "Oh, BYU's a good team. Holy crap, they beat VCU." No, nobody said that. Nobody has said that. It's that, VCU is not the team I thought they were. It's not that BYU is a good
defensive
team.
Metrics. Nobody like VCU's offense was like it was pretty shaky. Sure, they beat up on mid majors, but their defense is what everybody thought would limit.
Sydney Thomas
BYU.
had fucking VCU beating BYU, man. You think she's watched a single game of VCU basketball? They were extremely trendy.
Do you really think she made that?
Bro?
I highly doubt she made that.
Bro, yes, of course. It's a bracket. There's no like she didn't get somebody to fill it out for her. Like
Probably did.
I'm just saying, like nobody thought BYU was a good team even previous to this VCU game. Like
But
they were
that's what I'm.
willing to
That's
take
what.
a mid-major.
That's what I'm
against them.
saying. That's why people are impressed.
No. I don't think anybody's
That
impressed.
contradicts what you're saying.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah, it
How
does.
how does it contradict it?
Say what you just said before that.
Say, dude, I'm not gonna. I don't know what you're
All
asking. Just tell.
You're saying like people aren't impressed they beat BYU, but then you're saying VCU was trendy.
VCU was extremely trendy
Right. So why would nobody be impressed they won if everybody thought VCU was
because
gonna
they looked like shit. It was VCU losing that game more so than BYU looking dominant, in my opinion.
and they put up 90.
I mean, they
Or
put up 80.
whatever you want to call it.
but
Whatever, like I don't know. I think that was a very impressive win for BYU
I don't know. I don't
because
know.
they
I
always
don't
get
agree.
the whole merchant tag because of the fucking altitude and shit. Like they weren't. They really, dude. They were like, go back to it. They were like, they barely won a road game. They were 6-5 on the road.
I don't know. I don't think so. I just
That's
can't
what I'm
get there.
saying. Yeah,
I-
dominate.
I don't know. I don't think so. I'm gonna be on BYU. Feels like a lot of
I
people are on
agree,
Wisco
yeah.
today.
I'm just saying that was a very good and impressive win. Not that like it's not impressive that
Here's the-
people thought.
okay, how
BYU
about this
was
then?
bad.
Maybe
It's because
maybe
how
it's
good
impressive to
VCU
people.
is.
Nobody's running to take BYU after watching that game. Nobody.
I agree with that. I definitely
That's
agree
what I'm
with
saying. That's my point. If everyone was so impressed, they'd be taking BYU today. They're obviously not because they're fine with taking Wisconsin.
that. I think it's just Wisconsin throughout the year, man. They were dominant.
Yeah,
And like
they've
I
been
think, like you
dominant.
said, you're getting them at this line. People feel
Such
comfortable
an-
taking that.
Such an affordable money line, bro. Wisconsin,
that's-
I think should be.
That's what
laying
I think
3.
outweighs it, though. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
If the spread
Yeah,
was a little
that's fair.
fatter, I think you'd see a little more BYU.
That's fair. Agreed. I think it's just too affordable of a price for Wisco at the end of the day. Rolo, break the fight up between mom and dad. What do you think?
Nah, this is a good discussion though, Chatslow.
No, I agree.
it's the like I said, it's the toughest game on the board today for me. I don't really know how to attack it. Honestly, I was trying to look for some first half unders. All I got is McNeese and Purdue. I was looking at maybe Arkansas and St. John's, but I don't really know.
Cyril.
Both of y'all have good points as to why y'all like each side.
I think this is summed up right here.
Yeah, we can agree on that for sure. That's a good
People
summary.
love Wisconsin because they're finally like because they've had talent the past few years. They just always choked. Now they're actually I guess from the Big Ten tournament, or whatever fucking conference they're in, they look terrible.
Yeah,
I think people
That's
are buying low on Wisco.
that's fair. I just don't agree with buying low on Wisco. I don't see there being anything to buy low
Honestly,
with Wisco on. Like they've had one loss in the last
Yeah,
how
I
many
kind of
games?
said it. I think Wisco peaked a little bit. Not that they're like gonna play bad, but dude, they were at some all-time highs like towards the end of the season.
I
Yeah,
know Michigan gets disrespected, but they were laying 4.5 to Michigan. And now they're what minus 115 to BYU on the ML. Like, it just doesn't add up in my head. Just doesn't. After they just thrashed Montana, thrashed them. I mean, I don't know.
I mean, I could be donating with Tanji to be honest. Like that run could have been unsustainable for him. I don't know. So
Yeah,
that's when everybody caught on to like how good Wisco is. It also happened to be when Tanji was dropping 30 every single game. So it's like
Swear
I
over.
don't know.
What do you think about the total? Anything? Did he look at that while you took the prop?
I mean, it's Wisconsin, so you know what you're getting. A lot of offense, fast pace, not the best defense.
Wisco has had tire
I
legs
mean,
and bench.
I'm not going to take a Wisco under because you're essentially taking Wisco to shoot like shit.
I like this comment. Wisco is a shittier BYU, honestly. BYU struggles against physical teams like Houston, which is why everyone thinks they suck. They match up well with Wisco and these teams that want to run. I agree.
Yeah, I definitely lean the over for sure. I'm not taking the under.
I wouldn't mind it. It's been creeping up, if I'm not mistaken. It's at 155 flat on the offshores.
Yeah, I see that on conversion. It's the highest on the day. I guess that's the only fear, but Can't think like
Yeah.
that in the tourney.
No, yeah. All right, Gonzaga, Houston. This is the one game I don't have a bet in at the moment, so let's change that. You said you really like Gonzaga. Actually, no. I'm sorry.
I
I do have a
do.
bet.
I do
love
love Gonzaga, but I hate they fucking. I was talking to T-Rain about it because he's a diehard. I hate that they fucking drew Houston because I really think they would have won deep.
I know. I think
hate
it's a
it.
really, really bad matchup for them, man. I really
hate that
do.
they drew Houston, man.
I mean, there's some teams stylistically that just don't match up with Houston, and I hate to say it, but Gonzaga is that team. I like the under in this game personally. What are you guys thinking? But I'll let you guys talk before I kind of get into mine.
Rolo, you said you like Gonzaga.
Yeah,
I'll give
I
my-
like Gonzaga outright, honestly.
Yeah. So I honestly I hope that happens just because I like this Gonzaga team, and I know nobody really likes Gonzaga because they were always like the one team, they're the number one team in the nation, but they played janitors all year. That was with Drew fucking Timmy. I never liked that guy. I don't know if Chat actually did or not, or you guys did, but I never fucking liked him. I love this Gonzaga team this year. I love Nemhard. I like Hickman. I like EK. I like Battle. These are all likable players in my opinion, and they play really well together. So I actually like this team. I hope they go far. But my one issue with fading Houston this year, and this kind of ties back to the last 3 years as well, they were probably the most picked like champion or to go run in March, and every year it didn't happen. Whether someone got hurt or they just sucked, they couldn't hit the shots. Nobody's doing that this year with Houston. Nobody actually is like picking them, or as much as they were for how Houston's still elite and disgusting, but you're not seeing the same Houston glaze as the past 2 or 3 years as they got. That's what scares me with fading Houston, because that team, you got fucking Cryer, you got Sharp, you got Uzan, you got Roberts. Like, this team is really fucking good. I feel like they got a little disrespected for the Houston glaze the past few years. So that's what scares me. How does that make you feel, Rolo? Is he lagging?
No, he's just contemplating life, I think. Is he? Yep, he's here.
Dude, I'm telling you, bro. I was all over Gonzaga versus Georgia. I thought they were going to fucking... I hate Georgia. Like, I hate them. So I was happy that happened. And two, I really like this Gonzaga team. And I think, like, they were graded... What are they, the 8 seed, right? Or some bullshit? Like, they're like...
Who? Zags? Yeah, they're the best 8
They're the
seed
best 8. Yeah, that's
ever.
what, this team is nasty. And it sucks they drew Houston, because I really like that team. But, man, Houston's scary in my opinion. All you hear is the Duke and Auburn glaze, and now Florida. You don't hear Houston in those conversations. They're like a tier below all these for some reason when they're really not.
Yeah, I'm still going to play the under. I mean, at first I thought it was like, okay, Houston total being 140, like kind of concerning. Maybe it looks a little easy, but Gonzaga, I mean, this is tied for the lowest total. This was the same total they saw versus St. Mary's when we all know how that game took place. Neither team broke 60 points. With Houston coming off a decent game offensively, I know they just held their opponent to 40, but I'm gonna go under on this game. It could be square for sure, but I just see them strapping up a little bit more than Gonzaga might hope today. Oh my God!
They got an Under Armour sponsor.
It's gotten out of hand at this point, dude. It really has. Houston's gonna make the Final Four. I agree, dude. I think St. Joe's loses outright. Adam, I'm gonna be real. I'm gonna be adding that money line right now. Actually, I'm sorry. To me, it's just that's the big seed that comes down today. I really do. I've seen.
Not to get too off topic, but all right, no, go ahead. We'll wait till after this game.
I just have to do it. I'm sorry. I'm a hater too, McKiffin. I think the McNeese shit is a copy and paste of NC State. It's stupid as fuck.
Yes and no. It's
not original.
Yeah,
it's not original at all. It's really corny.
It's not, but we saw a guy last year that got an NIL deal pretty early in the tournament, and they went on a run.
I agree with this.
In Oakland. So I think they just ride that momentum. I think they go dancing. and they get throttled by whoever wins out of Gonzaga or Houston.
Does it worry you the total's higher than Houston has seen the last 10? Not really, just because it's Gonzaga. And we saw how potent that offense. I mean, they put up 90 points on a good defense in Georgia. So for that reason, no. I just think, I mean, you get both these teams. I mean, you get the total set at 140. You do the math here. Houston's team's total is at 72.5, right? They've gone over this number in the last game. They didn't go over versus Arizona. They got on the hook 72, 74, 77. They've been playing really well. Their offenses look awesome. And then Gonzaga, on the other hand, putting up 89, and their team total sitting at 67.5. I mean, I can't lie. I think the over looks more appetizing than the under. It's essentially both teams to score 70 points apiece. To me, that looks pretty easy, regardless of it being Houston, just because of how good the Zags offense looked. But I could be wrong for sure. Could be wrong. I mean, I think if the Zags win, I think it's going to go over. But I don't think that happens.
Definitely.
All right, one more game to talk about, boys. UCLA, Tennessee. You guys have extreme thoughts on this one?
I like Tennessee.
Really? I like UCLA.
Yeah, I mean, I saw a lot of UCLA love over that bullshit win that they had over Utah State. I just think that they played a horrible team, bro, honestly.
They looked awful, dude. I was shocked.
And Tennessee didn't really they didn't cover against Wofford. Wofford kind of was in the game for majority of it. So I think that we could get a good UCLA TT under, or if you don't want to lay the spread, but I think they cover 5.5.
Royal, what do you think?
Kind of like reminds me of I think Tennessee is almost in the same bracket as Houston, like respect line. Like obviously I like Houston a lot more than Tennessee. Don't get me wrong, but I mean, who the fuck is talking about Tennessee making a run? Nobody, because the way they went through that dry stretch of the season, like they were terrible, and their offense does scare me. That's why I don't think I'm gonna bet it. But they're kind of heating up, and it scares me a little bit. I mean, 77, it's a lot for them. Yeah, Steak is the only one, but I don't know, man. I'll be honest, I don't know much about UCLA. I didn't really watch them. That's why I don't want to go too much into it, but if I had to, I'd probably pick Tennessee. I just don't know much about UCLA. I know Bilodeau and I know Eric Daly, and that's it.
Sky Clark is the guy you got to know about, bro. This guy, I'm telling you,
I've seen him for once, but I don't know.
He's number 55, and he's an X factor in March. I think he was dealing with an injury over the course of the season. I could be wrong on that, but he's playing his best ball as of late. I like this UCLA team a lot. I actually have the upset in my bracket for UCLA to beat Tennessee personally. I'm going to be on them plus 5.5 today. I think this line is insane.
Oof.
I think this line is insanely egregious, dude.
Look at this.
Tennessee, dude, I mean, take this in perspective here. Do you think how much better do you think Texas is than UCLA? Just like how many points difference do you think?
I honestly I don't know enough about UCLA, but I feel like they both are kind of
in the same category, right?
Yeah.
So why was Tennessee laying 9.5 to Texas, and is laying 5.5 now, 4.5? No, neutral in in the SEC tournament.
Okay.
So why are they laying now 4.5 to UCLA? To me, this is a crazy amount of respect to UCLA. Texas isn't better, no, definitely not, but they're not 5 points worse than UCLA is. Like, let's be real. I think this line's a ton of respect for UCLA personally. High fats.
Min-Major, what does this make you lean? I'm curious. Who's giving UCLA respect after beating a dog shit? It sounds like you lean UCLA.
Yeah, I think he would lean UCLA, honestly.
I think UCLA and Arkansas, honestly, are my two favorite dogs to win outright today. It doesn't necessarily make sense on paper, Mitty, but at the end of the day, UCLA is playing their best ball of the season at the right time. and they have the pieces to do it. They maybe haven't shown us the most throughout the season, but I really like them on the spread today.
I mean,
11
Oh, yeah.
and 32 ATS since 05. I saw the comment. I don't care.
I don't care.
I mean, I just think that I don't want to just, I'm a trends guy. I'm not going to say it like that, but I just think that it's a really good spot for Tennessee. I think that everybody saw the massive blowout from UCLA, and a lot of people want to take them because of that. Oh, we're getting 5 points. We get plus money with UCLA. I don't think because of his ATS record is why people won't take Tennessee. They'll just automatically lean towards UCLA.
I feel like I had such a good feel betting wise the last round or the past 2 days. Like, dude, this one's I have I don't really have a confident side in this on this slate today at all. I feel like these matchups are brutal.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you personally, mid-major. I think this one's a really tough game, though. This is one of the tougher games to read, and I think in terms of majority opinion, I think UCLA Tennessee is going to be split pretty much down the middle. But I'll be on the Bruins today. I think it's also interesting. I mean, we compared Arkansas and Texas and Drake together. We can now compare Gonzaga and UCLA together. I don't know which one is more uncomfortable. I really don't. You can make an argument UCLA though for sure. I think it's pretty close. But any other thoughts, guys? What are we thinking?
Slate has my head in a blender for spreads, but
I'm liking it.
I just hope that McNeese wins. If they win, I don't care what else happens today, honestly.
Yeah. Chat, we will probably be back live. I mean, I'll be live tomorrow. I don't know the availability of you guys and other folks. Maybe we'll hit up Steak and I think is Steak
he's
back?
on vacation or something.
I think he gets back next week actually. So maybe I'll hit up DJen again. We can do a little collab stream, or even Matt or somebody. Get a guest on here in the morning.
Same time tomorrow?
Yeah, same time tomorrow. We'll do 10 o'clock. Mid-major, if you're still in here,
I'll be here.
You could hop on with us tomorrow. It'd be pretty fun. Houston needing to win by 6 versus a team that's only lost to one team since the start of February is very uncomfortable. I agree. I would have to say that Gonzaga is probably the more comfortable button over UCLA for sure.
I agree.
Royal and MJ coming to play back to sweat the. Ooh, all right, I'm down. I'm down.
Yeah. That's where we're going.
I'm
Play
down.
back with Adam and Putz. Well, Putz is in Vegas right now, but we've been literally cashing every day, at least 5 units every day, just chilling with Adam and the boys all day, bro. It's crazy.
Yeah, we'll hop in there.
Real quick before we end, I just want to see what you guys think about this line tomorrow. What do you think the line between Iowa State and Ole Miss is?
Ooh,
remember, no Gilbert. Remember,
Iowa State -3.
Rolo.
I'm gonna go with.
Probably way bigger than that.
5. Yeah.
That seems pretty hefty. I can't lie. No Gilbert.
Yeah, kind of.
I mean, I'm telling you, I might
love Iowa State.
I do, but come on, let's be honest. If they had Gilbert in, I would be a little question. But,
UNC looked like fucking horseshit that game. So
yeah, but Ole Miss also looked really insane in the first half. They 40+ pieced them.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Let's raid somebody.
Future might be alive.
What you got, Iowa State?
Yeah, I took them last 2 or 3 weeks of the season, and then of course Gilbert goes down. Lipsy is banged. I mean, he looked fine to be honest, so I'm not worried about it.
Does somebody have a live channel that maybe has no viewers or something? Maybe in the sports category. Viewers low to high. No. Somebody random.
Okay. So I wish I knew how to.
Ooh.
Thank you, Cleveland. Cleveland, thanks for being here the whole time, bro. Appreciate you.
Oh my God, this is it. Bro, Miss Fins. Bro, we're gonna go to Miss Fins here. Hold on. Can you share my screen here? Bro, Miss Fins, boys. Everybody go in here and just rip cream jobs in chat, all right? and pies. Just rip pie emotes and cream jobs, all right? We're gonna go into here.
Nah, not cream. It's gotta be pie job event.
No,
Cream
cream job. We're giving her 100 viewers, bro. She can.
MJ is cranking hog. I'm not.
All right, we're gonna be in there.
Crank hog, or is that even worse?
All right, either that works too. Crank hog works too. Crank hog works too, boys. Hog. Get in there, boys. Come on. I want to see chat disgusting.
No question.
I need a lot of cranks and lengths.
Come on, guys. Get in here. This is gonna be hilarious. Come on. I can't wait to see what she's. I hope she's looking at chat. Spam the shit, boys. Spam it. All right, I'm rated now. Go. All right, I'm staying live.
Talking Dolphins in March is wild.
Hold on,
that's diehards for you, bro. That's diehards. I know it's not even cold in Miami, and she got a beanie on. She got the flag in the background. That's just insane.
Yup.
No.
Miss Fans. Holy view. Cream pie. Let's fucking go. What the fuck, bro? Ricky Williams.
Bro, there's no way you just like see 60 people spawn in chat.
I wonder if she has like a massive like YouTube chat or something.
She probably does. I could see that.
Bro, we're doing dolphin mock trades.
We're doing dolphin mock draft.
That's crazy, bro. I feel like I'm a pretty diehard Bears fan.
Though.
I feel like I'm a diehard Bears fan, and like NFL, I would never be doing this shit, bro.
She's unfazed with the pie More.
Cream is just crazy.
More pie.
All right, this first game's about to start.
All right, let's get off here, bro. Let's get off here.
All right.
Jesus.
I'll see y'all in playback.
All right, peace out.
All right, deuces.
Later, guys. Chat, drop a test tube. Much love. We'll see you soon. All right.
I've spent a lot of time, Joe, slating everybody in the company. Backstage, I'm starting to point off everybody. I've ridiculed everyone on the roster. I just want to say from the bottom of my heart, I'd like to take this chance to apologize to absolutely nobody. The double champ does what the he wants.
Don't get too comfortable. Better not get too